was how defensive the Jewish community would be. I didn't expect the seekers would experience rejection because they wanted to be Jewish. One of my first experiences in Ecuador was meeting the son of one of the subjects in Quito. A year earlier, he had undergone conversion with a Reform rabbi in Mexico. We met at my hotel and went out for a coffee. On the way there, he took out a kippah and placed it on his head. I was puzzled and confused. Was he afraid of retaliation by anti-Semitic elements? Was he concerned about gaining recognition by the established Jewish community? It took me a little while to realize that maybe he wasn't sure about his status as a Jew, and as a sign of respect towards me, he put his Jewish self on. His behavior raised issues about his identity conflict. Was he trying out a new and yet uncomfortable self while visiting with me, a born Jew? It made me think about what makes us who we are as individuals, and how do we define ourselves. We live our lives based on a set of guidelines regarding our so-called identity. But what happens when you feel an ancient call that challenges that established sense of identity? As an Argentine Ashkenazi Jew and descendant from Holocaust survivors, should this identity be my established ancestral call, or should I be defined some other way? I began thinking about my connections and why I was so interested in the subject. As a child of Holocaust survivors, parents who experienced first-hand injustice, restrictions of personal freedoms, eventual displacement, and death of family members, I could relate to the struggle of crypto-Jews, a struggle to define their own unique voice, a longing and desperation to identify with the Jewish faith that has driven them to overcome many obstacles. I grew up with a feeling of being a stranger in my own home, which is another reason why I felt so connected to these people who were in a limbo. People who did not belong in the Catholic world of their birth, yet were not being accepted in the Jewish faith or in the Jewish world itself. This all leads to essential questions, such as, what is a Jew? What makes a Jew a Jew? I don't know the answer. There are many different ways of experiencing oneself as a Jew. Making this film confirmed an aspect of my identity, that of a Jewish woman taking responsibility to expose unfair treatment by our religious institutions and ultimately create change. I feel it as my mitzvah to the world at large. Perhaps a ray of light might be imminent on the horizon. At the June conference for Latin American and Caribbean Jewish community leaders, there was a discussion about changing the way Jewish communities behave towards converts and would-be converts, and the importance of providing them with accepting environments. Rabbi Guillermo Bronstein of Peru said, "We have to be humble. Instead of judging the people wanting to be Jewish, we should put ourselves in their shoes." And for the first time this past spring, Juan Mejia, a Colombian with crypto-Jewish ancestry, became an ordained rabbi from the Jewish Theological Seminary in New York. My hope is that those who seek solace in the Jewish faith can find it and are welcome regardless of their ancestry. Thank you. And,